Hi, ladies. I stay with my elder sister, and her hubby has actually traveled abroad as I speak. I just discovered that she's sleeping with her pastor. I chanced upon her chats with the man of God. He's the same man of God who helped my brother secure a visa abroad because he was always getting bounced. Truth is, I never planned to go through her chats, but I had a problem with my phone some weeks ago, and I used hers to communicate with my boyfriend abroad via WhatsApp, voice and video call. Now, I started suspecting the two of them when the pastor started paying regular visits to our house in the evenings, and also when my sister started behaving funny anytime he came around. I told myself that maybe I was overthinking it, and he may just be concerned about my sister since her hubby is away. So, on this particular evening, she had left her phone in the hall as usual, and I picked it up to call my boyfriend. She usually archives her chat, but it seems like she forgot to do so this time around. Sisters, what I saw shocked me. They had been exchanging nude pictures and even reminisced about the times they had spent in a particular hotel. I was speechless. I don't know if I should confront her or if I should mind my business. It breaks my heart because I know her hubby loves her very much. Okay. Whilst you ladies think about it, I understand Claudia is on Zoom. Claudia, are you there? Can you hear me? Did you catch
I can hear you now. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I cannot hear you, but I can see you. So
yeah, I can hear you.
Say hello to me again.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, Claudia. Great. So I'll give you a moment to just get into the speed of things whilst I pick this topic up with the ladies here. Who wants to go first? Gail.
Oh,
is that fine? Let me come to you.
Okay. The first thing that struck me was she said "man of God." She's saying "man of God" like he's not a man. Sometimes when they talk about pastor and man of God, people tend to put them in some, cocoon, like, hey, we don't have feelings or we don't do whatever. So it's obvious that the relationship the guy has with the lady goes beyond just a pastor or a spiritual whatever. I don't know. For maybe they've known each other before she even got married. I don't think as soon as the husband left and traveled, and that's when they started whatever they were doing. I have a feeling that she knows him before. For all you know, maybe that's her chosen, soulmate, so to speak. And so sometimes some people are not able to settle down with whoever they think they want, and so they'll, compromise and marry someone else who's ready to marry or something like that. And then behind closed doors, if I should say, they are getting on with the person that they really think they want. So, I mean, like the lady is saying, she says, should she confront her sister? I think she should, because she's your sister. You went into her phone and you saw that. So there's nothing wrong if you say, hey, I went through your phone, this is what I saw, but what's going on? Because I know you are married and your husband is, what's going on? She could ask her, what's going on? Right. I mean, like, how come you're married and you're doing this with this guy? Like, as a concern, not like attacking her, but as a concerned sister. Like, what happened? Like, if you think you don't want to be with your husband anymore, is he doing something you don't like? What is it? So if she has to make a choice, then she'll make a choice. But I think she should confront her. And then this lady has to, based on the conversation, she'll make her mind about who she wants to be with. Because I'm not going to be judgmental and be like, oh, pastor, what? I mean, he's a human being.
Right.
So,
okay.
That's
what do you think, Ceci?
Yeah, I think I'm on the same trajectory with Gail. She needs to confront her sister. It's not like she's your sister-in-law or something. That would have been a bit complicated, because now it's like the loyalties, she wouldn't know where to, because you are her sister-in-law and then there's her brother. So this one, she's your sister, your blood sister. First of all, just apologize for invading her privacy, because like it or not, it is her privacy, okay? So you need to apologize for that and ask her with all due respect, because again, she's your elder sister. on the face value, you think that, hey, what you are doing is wrong. But after talking to her, maybe, I'm not justifying her actions, but maybe there are some valid reasons that you could understand, like after going deeper into what is going on. That is, if the nature of the relationship between you two is like, you guys are cool, you guys can talk about anything. But given the fact that she's able to take your phone, call her boyfriend on a regular basis, I don't know why, whether you don't have a phone. I don't know whether she mentioned why she has to use her sister's phone. I don't think I caught that part.
Yeah, I think she has a problem with hers currently.
Sometimes.
Okay. So I think if you guys are on that level and you can have access to a phone, I think the relationship is not all that bad between you two. So talk to her, ask her, because you know that if you are married, dear, and the extramarital affairs and the fact that it's a pastor and so on, yeah, it's a bit alarming, but talk to her, okay, and find out what the issue is. You can give her your candid opinion as to what you think, because obviously you don't think it is the right thing to do. You can only suggest. You cannot force things. You cannot say that, hey, if you don't stop, I'll report you, blah, blah, blah. No. You don't even have to cross to the husband's side. No, it is not your lookout. It is none of your business. Yes. So your only business is for you to talk to her, because what you saw, you were worried about it. Then you leave it there. Okay, just tell her that this is what you saw, and you are concerned.
Yeah.
As a concerned sister, like Gil rightly said, ask her, what's up, Charlie? I saw this thing. Hey, you and the pastor, Sister Ade, you know? Yeah, talk to her, and then Charlie, level with her. Ask her what's going on. Then you give your candid opinion, then you leave it there, because they are two consenting adults. Yep. Your sister is an adult, a married woman for that matter. So just tell her what you think, and then you leave it there. Don't take it anywhere else, not even to your parents.
Right.
So,
okay,
that's it.
Claudia, let me come to you. Do you hold a differing opinion?
I'm with the sisters on this, but I think first of all, she needs to acknowledge that she breached a certain confidentiality. Why was she going through her sister's messages? What gives her that right to even do that in the first place? So she should be ready for that confrontation when she's asking her. She has to plan and give a good reason why she felt she was she was qualified to even be reading her messages in the first place. But for me, when it comes to these issues, it's usually about what is the best thing and what is the right thing. And the fact that she's seeking our opinions, I kind of suspect they are not that close, because if I'm close with my sister, the confrontation happens there and then when I saw it. So she should first of all evaluate their closeness and see if it's even worth discussing it at all. Is it even your business what your sister does with her life? But if she's the morally upright one who wants to live with a clean conscience and see something, be your sister's keeper, then have a conversation with her. And the conversation is not about trying to understand why she's cheating. It's about letting her know that you know and that you are not judging her, and it's her personal decision to make. But as a married woman, you think is wrong. But at the end of the day, the decision is up to her. So it's a no judgment conversation. Approach it with an apology, because first of all, you are not supposed to be going through someone's phone, and it's none of your business what people do with their private lives. But as sisters, to be her keeper, have an honest conversation, non-judgmental. And for me, it's not even about trying to understand why she's doing it. That doesn't count. That is not really relevant. The idea is that she's cheating, and in a marital situation, it's adultery and it's wrong. And so you know, and you want her to know that you know, and so she should reconsider and evaluate her position on that. That's my 2 cents.
Claudia, what do you think about her confronting the pastor directly? At least he's the outsider here.
None of her business. For me, I'm always like, when it comes to these situations, leave the third parties out. Leave the third parties out. and deal with the relation, the one that you are closest to, the one that would listen to you. The pastor does it. It's between you and your sister. Leave the pastor out of this. It's not like he's going to stop because you confronted him. And the pastor, I don't think it's the first time he's actually lost any shame. So confronting him is neither here nor there. He's probably doing it with other women in the church. So concentrate on your sister, your blood relation, where you have some level of control. But with a pastor, I don't think it's necessary. Maybe you might just let him know that, Pastor, I know that you are not upright. I do know. Just for knowing sake, I just want you to know that I know. That's it. But I don't think that's going to make any difference there.
Okay. Ceci, I mean, we're talking about a woman who is cheating on her husband. I want to think that on this show, if the coin was flipped and we're talking about a man here, either of you would have at least condemned the whole cheating thing. But I don't feel that strongly. Yeah, like by now you people are shouting plenty, but I say you're not really addressing the fact that a woman just cheated on her husband.
Always on a gender, side of things. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. Or if you need to discuss it and make a choice, you should. But I won't be hard on the guy because it was a pastor. I wasn't even hard on him, but he too is also guilty.
Yeah, but it's the woman who's broken the commitment to her husband.
Yes,
she's the one, stepping out of the marriage.
And so, but you see, if it were a guy, I wouldn't even say much because usually the guys, they give them the whatever I call it, the get out of jail free card all the time. You see, what they're doing is like it's part of. That's what they say. But for me, I'll always say you should make a choice. That's what I always say. If you're not happy in a relationship and you bring someone else into the picture, you need to choose. I always say finish with one first before you go to the next person. That's where I always come from.
So. What's your excuse?
I don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse. Like you rightly said, she's the one who has a commitment to her husband. Yeah. But it is not her husband that found out. It is her blood sister. Okay, so the first course of action is for her sister to talk to her. Because clearly it is wrong. She has breached the contract that she has with her husband. Okay, so her sister should talk to her. And then she can, at some point, you see, it won't stay hidden forever. I'm sure at some point, well, unless maybe they decide to end it at some point. But I think that if they continue,
that thing will be there. It will be what word can I use? Like it will be. I don't know if I should say breeding. It will be
laying dormant.
It will be there. It will definitely come out.
Yeah,
it will definitely come out one day. You can't hide these things.
But we don't know what her husband's also doing abroad, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this is what we have to go by. Yes, we don't know what is happening abroad.
Because I said we don't know why she's seeing this other guy. There could be something wrong.
You see, with the and it looks. You see, when you mentioned that he was bounced several times, and it was this pastor that
to get out of her
brother.
Her brother.
Yes, not her husband.
Wait.
Yes. No. He's the same man of God who helped my brother secure a visa abroad because he was always getting bounced.
Okay,
so the man of God has been helping the family members.
That's what I'm saying. She knows I'm chair. I don't know if I can speak pidgin. She knows him before I think she got married. The relationship is closer than just the pastor thing. I said it earlier. It's beyond that.
So, well, if she talks to the sister and then things are not happening, if she decides to take it to the pastor, if he's a family friend and he wants to take it there, fine. But I still think that your issue is with who you are closest to.
Three-way discussion. They can all sit down and have a conference as well.
But really, I don't know.
Yes.
No, I agree with you ladies, actually. I'm just putting myself in her shoes. If it was any of my sisters, straight out of bust.
Definitely.
Just like Claudia said, like in Framampo Faso, like I would have just asked me, like, hey, sis, what did I just see? Like what did I just look at? Like what's going on here? Yeah, and then I'll say, are you and your husband having issues? Like, is there something I should know? Like, not like I'm trying to counsel you guys, but let me know what's up. Like, I'm in your corner, right? Yeah. Just let me know what's up, kind of thing. So, yeah, definitely ask, and let's see what she says. The thing is, I don't know what you're going to do with the information that she gives you.
Write to us.
So update us on that one. A couple of messages. Jimmy says, Charlie, At least you're so mature, you want to address this appropriately. I think you should speak to your sister about it if you can, but swear on your life never to use this against her in any way, no matter what. It's quite heartbreaking, but issues of the flesh, especially sex, can really make the mighty fall. Don't judge either of them, but speak to your sister and also the pastor and let them know and understand and know that you know details of their escapades. Rachel says, hey, some women party adding. Why must she do this to her husband knowing he loves her so much? Tell your parents about it first, but before that, screenshot their conversations for evidence. Otherwise, she'll deny everything. Then you and your parents call her and ask her what at all she wants to achieve by doing what she's doing. If she doesn't love her husband anymore, she should tell him and go to the so-called pastor. You'll never know what you have until you lose it. That's an interesting one. Tell parents. Okay, you move on. Orizi says, don't confront her, tell her husband. Screenshot all the messages, the chat, the nude pictures to her husband. After sending it to her husband, send the same message and chat and nude pictures between the pastor and your elder sister to the church authorities or the elders of the church, so that the people who know the kind of pastor they will know the kind of pastor they have. Even if your sister's husband divorces her, it's the best thing to do. The pastor and your sister are shameless, nonsense people.
Wow.
Hey. No, are we? Charlie, what kind of violence is this? You know? Wow, like this is just tear it all apart. No, I don't think that's the best approach. Daniel says, see, they'll never cheat on the ones that take them for granted or abuse them. But love a woman wholeheartedly and she'll take you for a fool. Chia! I just feel pity for the husband. An adulterous woman can easily ruin your life. Just saying, so can an adulterous man.
Exactly.
Gloria says, I think you should confront her and tell her to stop. And if she doesn't heed your advice, just ignore her. But let her know that one day her cup will become full. So if and when it does, she shouldn't count on you. And finally, Prince says, by their comments, we shall know those that cheat and those that stay faithful.